Amoral. Meaning of amoral. Unconcerned with the rightness or wrongness of something. Without moral principles. Without moral standards. Someone who is amoral does not care whether or not their behavior is morally right. Let's see some examples of amoral. His respect for privacy appears to some to be a rather amoral attitude. We do have standards and we are not an amoral society. He offers no excuses for his amoral characters, just explanations. Now we will look at few synonyms of amoral. Abandoned. Uncontrolled. Corrupt. Fast. Disorderly.
Backstabber. A traitor or hypocrite, such as a co-worker or friend assumed trustworthy but who figuratively attacks when one's back is turned. Backstabber.
Liar. One who tells lies. Treachery. Deliberate, often calculated, disregard for trust or faith. The act of violating the confidence of another, usually for personal gain. Treachery.
To connive. Okay, to connive is to plot or scheme with someone, either actively or passively. Let me explain that, either actively or passively. You can connive by turning a blind eye to secretly allow something immoral or illegal or harmful to continue happening. Okay, so by turning a blind eye and not reporting it, you are allowing it to occur, and hence you are tacitly, indirectly, consenting to it. You're encouraging it. You can also use connive, meaning to plan or to plot directly with someone and to participate in the plan. Conniving is a critical word, to connive. If you call somebody conniving, you are criticizing them strongly. You're saying that they are untrustworthy, that you cannot trust them, that they break their trust and they don't do what they should be doing, even though you've trusted them to do it.
Anti-Afro Svengalis. I want to make sure what you heard, you see Glorione's screenshot up here. Yes, this applies to Glorione, but it also applies to other people. And I'm going to address that in a second. First, I want to talk about breaking the culture of silence. And I wanted to make sure that people who were genuinely interested in hearing the truth get the truth. Because there's some holes. People keep asking me certain questions. So this means I need to come on here and address, unless I'm going to be typing up all these different emails. So let's make it clear about breaking the culture of silence. She is a newbie in these particular YouTube blocks. So if you have a newbie who's been here mere months, it's not reasonable to expect a newbie to have the landscape of someone who claims, or people who claim they've been around since the quote beginning, as far as what goes on in these particular YouTube blocks. So people who expect breaking the culture of silence to make a decision based on a very limited amount of time in these YouTube blocks versus people who claim they've been around forever simply isn't logical. Bottom line, people get to make whatever decision they want to make. It's their choice. And it's very interesting how you have all of these individuals or these subjects who I don't have relationships with claim to know me, claim to characterize me in this and that way, but their behavior demonstrates just what they claim I'm doing. Trying to force people into believing something that simply isn't true. When it comes down to the nitty-gritty, we all are free people. Thinking and believing what we want to believe is completely up to us. But I think it's ridiculous when people expect someone who's been here mere months to know everything that's been going on. It's called live and learn. You will get your experiences. You will interpret those experiences. And according to however you move, you move. And that's the situation with breaking the culture of silence. One other thing I want to say, which I think is very unfortunate, when she runs her live streams, People go over there and they participate, but you always seem to have people who come there specifically to disrupt the harmony. No one is talking about them. And what do? They come and they unleash their anger on me. They unleash their anger on Reb G. They unleash their anger on Liz. You are the ones that have the problem. You're showing your lack of maturity and your insecurity. You're not able to maintain your demeanor appropriately, adult demeanor, in an environment where you're uncomfortable. My goodness, how do you act off YouTube if you were so reactive to something you claim you don't like, but you can't stop talking about it with no rhyme or reason? And here's the situation. You individuals who insist AAS is so controlling, you know that you are the ones who try to control others, and your frustration level just goes up and up and up and up because you are not successful in your efforts to control people, mainly to try to get them to say things about me that aren't even true. Like I have a criminal record. There's actually people who are going around and saying, I have a criminal record, but they have yet to have the guts to get up here and actually tell that lie on a platform. I dare you to get your asses up here and show me a record that says it's me and I have criminal convictions. That's the day I'm going to take your ass right into court. People know they're telling lies, and what they try to do is to put somebody else on the hook to spread their lies. And when people don't want to do that, they go ham on those people and they start talking shit about them. Someone even told Breaking the Culture of Silence that I called CPS on her because I was pissed that we was hanging out with people I didn't like. Okay, it's the same thing as somebody claiming that I hacked into their YouTube channel and I manually manipulated their subs or told people not to go to their channel. People, come on. Messing with Google and YouTube, their internal structure, filing false CPS reports, which is a felony. Well, both of those are felonies. Why aren't you reporting me? You'd have my ass in the pen right now, the federal penitentiary. If even 1/3 of the things that you're saying were true, people know these things aren't true. They know these things aren't true. But they are trying so hard to manipulate the situation, so they want me to look bad. Well, guess who looks bad when they make up all these lies? People, let me say something about going to people's channels. Listen very carefully, and you can go back and check it. Who was the last one to cut out of a channel when shit goes down? Me. I've been the last one to book it. Out of there. I'll say 98% of the time. I hang in there. I give people chances. And when the evidence is overwhelming, I'm gone. So that's a lie right there. I'm going to sit there on the channel where I tell everybody else to leave. No, they leave. And they're sending me the email saying, or calling me, why the hell are you still there? This person's saying this about you and so-and-so saying this about you. Do you know how long it took me to leave KKC's channel? People were so furious at him because he was doing shit to me. Just real greasy shit he did to me. I wanted to see where this would go. Okay? I was the last one to cut out of there. When I got the proof that I needed, that he was being disrespectful to me and disloyal to me in response to the support I provided him on and off the channel. And whenever anyone goes to a video and thumbs it up where the host has called me crazy, where the host has gone on a 30-minute tirade about how he plans to sexually degrade me and rape me, and you leave a thumbs up on that, I get to say whatever I want about you. People have it so incredibly contorted into too many different areas. They think they can say whatever the hell they want about you, and you're going to be rendered silent. That is not the case. So again, I'm the last one to cut out of a channel 98% of the time. So I'm sitting on a channel telling everybody to leave while I stay there. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I know what that move represented. That was retribution. I won't go any further into that, but that definitely was a strike of revenge. Again, you wish upon me rape and degradation, and you see someone calling me crazy who has spent time in a psych ward, and you thumb that up, I get to say whatever the hell I want about you when I want to. And I'll do just that. No one can tell anyone I want ham on someone because I'm demanding that they do this and they talk about this person and you're not going to do it. And now I'm going to come in, I'm going to attack you. All the things that they claim about me, they are doing. People see what's going on. People who have standards of decency know what's going on. Birds of a feather do indeed flock together. Once people find out what someone is up to, that's when the decency flies away. Again, no one is above being fooled, but being a fool is a totally different story. Keep that in mind when you talk about breaking the culture of silence. She'll make her own decisions. As I stated before, this is a part I want to also mention. Why do I care who somebody has dinner with or has drinks with? Why do I need to post a video on that somebody else is having drinks with someone else or having dinner with someone else? What purpose is that? There is no purpose. It doesn't make any sense. I greeted breaking the culture of silence when she had her event. When I saw someone on there that I don't watch, I clicked off. And then I continued working on the documents that I was working on with the attorney over the entire weekend. I'm getting bombarded with all these messages. Okay, fine. People were shocked. What are you expecting? You're expecting people to act accordingly based on your expectations, although you may not even have a relationship with the person. Well, if it bothers you that much, take it up with breaking the culture of silence. I didn't lose any sleep over who breaking the culture of silence is having dinner and drinks with. She doesn't lose sleep over who I have dinner and drinks with. Do I need to check in with anybody on YouTube before I go out with my family and friends and sit around and have a good time? No, I just go and do what I do, as does everyone else. But they're expecting to dictate to us how we move. And that to me is just a mark of insecurity because you're trying to control every single thing someone does. Remember, this is what these people who don't know me claim about me. People also will claim if you try to assert having yourself respected in a space, they want to call that control. Well, if people feel that way, then you just have a parting of the ways, you just go on and you don't look back. It is what it is. So I wanted to make sure that statement was made about breaking the culture of silence. And let me say this, one final thing about the moderating. I've been moderator long-term for 3 channels here on YouTube, and they're very satisfied with my services. Very satisfied. I don't need to be moderator on every channel. Breaking the Culture of Silence decided to make me a moderator. And I do a damn good job. If you're disruptive in any live stream where I am a moderator, I'm going to address that. That's the bottom line. People are okay with the disruption as long as they are able to disrupt. But if you were to disrupt and affect them, then they're going to say something. That's how these people operate. It's a lack of control. If you claim you're so hot, you're so there, you got everything going on, why don't you demonstrate it with mature behavior instead of crying and whining about someone who's saying this about me and so and so? Okay, someone's talking about you. Get on and address it like an adult instead of whining and crying like a baby. These people 40 and 50 plus years old up here crying and whining like children. It's amazing, people. When are you going to shed your temper tantrums? I guess that'll be up to you, but nobody has to put up with your temper tantrums. No one has to. So when they run into a roadblock where someone is not going to put up with their crap, then the whole world caves in. So that's what I wanted to say about the breaking culture of silence situation. And let me backtrack to Glorione Murray. Glorione Murray, you got a lot to say about me. You got a lot to say about Rev G. Are you sure you want to continue this? It's up to you. Am I going to stop what I'm doing every time to address your asinine comments? No. But best believe your comments are being stockpiled. And if you want to go down that road again, we can go down that road. You are not, under any circumstance, going to sit up here and dare. No. But best believe your comments are being stockpiled, and if you want to go down that road again, we can go down that road. You are not, under any circumstance, going to sit up here and dare try to place me beneath you when it comes to character and morality. This is a situation. You cannot be trusted. You were the person. You were the one who received emails, and the emails weren't even that, like, there was not like I sent you trade secrets. But you were so excited to get these emails, you turned around and released those. It doesn't even matter what the emails say. That means you can't be trusted. You are not trustworthy. It doesn't matter what anybody claims. There has never been a circumstance where I have given someone information about someone else and the other person doesn't know about it. I have those emails to back that up. Not that I'm going to come on here and show anything, but here is something that I hold near and dear: being trustworthy. You're not trustworthy. So therefore, you're not going to sit here and search my character without me reminding you why you're not trustworthy, why you're a treacherous, why you're a backstabber. You want to run around here and you said one time, I can't believe she keeps mentioning Lennon. You damn well better believe I'll mention his name when I want. Listen, you're not going to tell me whose name to mention. But since you bring up Lennon's name, let's talk about Lennon for a second. You were the one who Lennon told something to, and I'm sure it might have been on a quick impulse. What did you do? You ran over to Smoke's channel and you told Smoke, or you told him by offline or whatever. Smoke covers this information with Dumpsy. Really. Lennon Honor wants Dumpsy talking about his personal business. See, that shows that you're not trustworthy. You were the one that wanted so badly to be next to Lennon Honor. You coveted this position that you perceived that I had. I was a person who supported Lennon's channel, and you bigged it up to mean something. I mean, what your idea of being on a channel and someone giving compliments, I mean, is that something that you wanted? If you wanted that, why don't you develop that? Why don't you nurture that for yourself instead of resenting the fact that other people praise me for things that I did that they appreciated? It doesn't matter what the state of any relationship is with anybody. The fact of the matter is the positive things that Lennon Honor said about me are true. And there's nothing you can do about that. If you were so concerned that people are complimenting me, why don't you try changing your behavior? Why don't you try and see if you can have a character makeover? Your character and my character is not the same. You are conniving, you're treacherous, you are backstabbing, and you lie. And you get so upset when I say that. Well, you demonstrate that all the time. And you happen to be hanging out on someone's page who is a raging homophobe, who is also a public servant, who cannot go any amount of time without calling Gerald Palmer a sissy, talking about he's gay, saying he's guzzling sperm, calling him a bati boy. See, all these comments, you might want to let your friend know, all these comments are being captured and they're going to be reported to this person's employer. And I don't know exactly who made any complaints, if they actually did, to this person's employer. But obviously the complaints didn't get to the right person. The person was simply moved out of one department to another. But it looks like we're going to have to do something else, because what you're not going to do is sit up here and continue to attack people, be a raging homophobe as a public servant where you have 24/7 obligations to uphold non-discriminatory practices towards protected groups. Why the hell do you have to keep mentioning people who don't have anything to say about you? And you, Glorione, this is why you're a backstabber and you can't be trusted. You're out there hanging out with this person who dogged out Lennon Honor. Isn't Lennon Honor supposed to be someone you looked up to and you wanted to be next to him and everything like that? Well, it doesn't surprise me, because you're doing the same thing with breaking the culture of silence. You're rocking with limits in your handcuffs, and she keeps filing false police reports and false CPS reports and breaking the culture of silence. You can't say shit about anybody. You are someone who cannot be trusted. You get so upset about the community post. Now, this community post is specifically about you, but you get riled up about the other community post. Who said you had to come over here? Well, you can come and go wherever you want to come and go. But I'm not going to stop posting information just because you're uncomfortable with it. And you're not the only one. You're not the only one who thinks I'm crafting community posts just for them. Well, that's called a guilty conscience. If something doesn't belong or apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. Fact of the matter is, you know what you do. You know what you're about. See, Glorione Murray has a problem with deciphering information. If you look at Glorione Murray's comment here, she seems to have a problem with me claiming to be, oh, high and mighty above, and I'm to have all this high morality. Most of those statements don't apply to me and my morality. It's a morality of a situation. Don't you know the difference? And if I choose to highlight the reasons why I have trusted and valued friends, I can do that. It makes you uncomfortable for some reason. Why is that? Perhaps you shouldn't come, because am I going to change anything that I'm doing? It's called a guilty conscience. You've done many things, many bad things to different people. You cannot be trusted. I don't even know you, and look at the moves you pulled on me. I'm not going to delete or remove or modify anything that I choose to put up on the community page or on AS channel. If you don't like it, don't come here. I know it would be much too hard to encourage you to change up the way you are, because you are who you are. That is you. We are not the same. You, again, are treacherous, you're conniving, you can't be trusted, and you're a liar. And that has been proven over and over again. If you come over to AAS community page and you feel as if you're looking in the mirror and you're looking at yourself, you don't want to see what you see, that's your problem. That is your problem. I'm not modifying anything for you. I don't have to do anything you say, but I will make this promise to you. I will cover every single one of your posts that you make about me, that you make about Gerald or anyone who supports us. On a timeline, I can't tell you the timeline, but I will cover it. You're not able to tell us that we have to refrain from responding to your bullshit lies about us and your verbal abuse. You are verbally abusive. You're complaining about me not upholding my professional standards. You are the one who brags about being a peace officer and you go and you consort with criminals. Yeah, that's what you do. I do not have to refrain from defending myself against your bullshit lies. So if you don't want me or us talking about you, why don't you shut the hell up talking about us? You don't know how to do that. We already figured that out. So you're in for the long haul. I'll be in for the long haul. If and when I decide to address your bullshit that you say about us, I'll do it. And there's nothing you can do. It is not slander. It is not harassment. You were the one initiating these comments about people. You're initiating it. It is not harassment. Learn your definitions. You've been hanging around too many people who are abusive and they try to find excuses to continue on with their abusive behavior. You deal with it. If you can't deal with it, stay from over here, because I'm not changing anything. I'm not changing a single thing I'm doing on this community page. Now what I wanted to address a situation with Alan Logic. I hold true to my promises that if I tell you I'm not going to do something or I give you a pledge, I stand by that pledge. Now there are exceptions to the rule when I will move away from that pledge. And I'm going to describe a situation that applies as relates to Alan Logic. Alan Logic had asked me, or told me, however you want to put it, and this is a paraphrase, whatever you do, if you have a problem with me, tell me. Just don't go on to YouTube and post a video about me. And I said to Alan, when have you ever known me to do that to anybody? Specifically, well, clarifying, I just jumped on YouTube and started talking about someone just like that. He could not come up with a situation when I had done that. So we agreed that I have never done anything like that. I have never come onto YouTube and started railing on somebody just because I'm railing on someone. It has always been in response to what someone has said about me. And this situation is no exception. So Alan Logic, you broke the pledge. You asked me, you got a promise from me that I would not come up on YouTube and just start talking about you in disparaging terms. No, because of course, nobody's going to care if you say something nice about them, right? You were the one that broke the pledge. You secured a promise from me, and you were the one that violated a trust. You got up on YouTube and you made some statements about me. You made statements about Gerald. And I honestly believe that you really were targeting me, but you used Gerald in the process. I don't appreciate it either way. Gerald is a very dear friend of mine, and you're aware of how much Gerald means to me as a personal friend. You know this. Everybody, I'm pretty sure, knows this. But you took all of these cruel and inhumane swipes at him just to get back at me. Now, let's make it clear. When that live stream was up, someone came on and said, again, I don't have the screenshot. Someone came on and asked, we're talking about children and protecting children. Well, there's someone here, and this person said something along the lines, there was somebody here that went for someone's kid. And I don't know if I don't think the person mentioned Alan's name. Did I go and delete the comment? Did anybody jump up and put the person in timeout? No. I was the first person who typed, and you put it on Gerald. I typed that the situation was addressed. So what did you do? You ran to your page and you said that we tried to imply that we had a conversation with you behind the scenes. Where did you get that from? So what I had to do, I had to go and clarify on the community page what I meant. And this is what I posted. You can go to the community page and read if this comes off the screen. That we said we had a conversation with you about the situation about Star's children. Let's make it clear. We're only talking about Star's children because I was not aware at that time or when Alan had said something about someone else's child. And apparently that happened because the person stated this and Alan didn't deny it. So we knew nothing about the other child that was referenced. We were talking about specifically Stargate's child. And then it dovetailed into a private conversation. We're accepting apologies from two sets of parents about Alan and what he said about their kids. Nothing of the kind ever occurred. Nobody ever implied that there was a private conversation. Read the community post, people. I went and I clarified what I meant by the situation was addressed. So you go into your page and you start taking these swipes at Gerald, and I consider it a religious attack on him. You're talking about his white church friends. Alan, let's be clear. Let's be very clear. If anybody doesn't give a damn about who's married to who as far as race, I don't care about that. But how can you come up here, criticize Gerald for going to a white church? You're not married to a black woman, and everyone knows that. So quit telling us how black we are and questioning our judgment because we associate with people who aren't black. That's hypocrisy. And also, you're attacking someone else who you know supports me. I feel you're attacking me. I really believe that. You're coming after Professor Cupcake. You called me on the phone and you asked me if I had texted Professor Cupcake when she came onto your platform. Guess who the first person who told me Professor Cupcake was on their platform? It was you. You were the person that told me that. I had no idea she was there. And I told you that. But you decided in your own mind to completely disregard what I said. And then you attacked her on your platform. This is after I told you I did not even know she was there. So you're making a decision, and it's your right to make a decision to not trust what I say. But then again, you wanted me to pledge I wouldn't come onto YouTube and attack you, which I have never done. And I'm not doing it to this day. I'm responding to what you said. Now, you're entitled to have your opinions about any and everything you want, but so do other people. So do other people. And I reiterate, under no circumstance would I ever support or endorse anybody who says anything negative about anybody's child. I don't care who the person is. It doesn't make any difference. And I stand by that. You can stand by what you want to stand by, but for you to start attacking people who support me because you're pissed at me, because I won't do what you say, to me, that's ridiculous. And if you really want to take it there, you have texted me and called me during live streams. So how could you even criticize Professor Cupcake thinking she did what she has never done? Professor Cupcake comes and goes as she pleases. She is a grown woman. So when you asked her if she was white, she gets to decide whether or not she wants to disclose that to you. And she did. She told you she was white. So what? Alan, you're not married to a black woman and nobody cares. I don't give a damn. Since you're talking about me and the people I associate with, nobody cares. We weren't the ones putting racial slurs into chats about your wife. So I don't appreciate you coming at us as if we are your enemies. You are attacking us. I never told you to go onto your platform and say, Almighty AFW. You decided to do that. You're the one that went to the different platforms. You went to Phony Ton's platform, answering questions about us, talking about the situation with the attacks that have gone on. You decided to do that. I never sent you anywhere to tell you to say those things. What I did tell you is that I'd rather you not bring us up and discuss us on these platforms because it's fueling what we don't want to fuel. That people want to bombard these live streams, make money off of us, talking shit about us and lying about us. But you seem to like the attention. You are free to do what you want. But since you are asking me, you're discussing these things with me, I'm telling you how I feel, you totally disregard that. You go to your platform and you attack two people that are very close to me. And I know you did it to try to get back at me. So you are the one that didn't uphold the pledge, not me. So this is another example of what I'm stating. You said it yourself that people go around to these platforms and they talk about AFW because they get attention. You were the one that was criticizing this, but now you're doing it. Again, do whatever you want, but don't act like we are the people who are attacking you. Who on the AAS page has said any harsh or disrespectful things to you ever? No one. So quit treating us like we have done something to you. You are the one that fell back on your pledge. And as a matter of fact, I want to bring this up as well. I cannot tell people, even if I tell people, they're still going to say, hey, AAS, I know you don't want to get emails about this, but this is important. How many times I have emails that say that? And that happened when I received emails that you were going around to platforms that were very hostile towards us, towards me, and you were super chatting them. I asked you about that. I did not know if you did or not, and you went off. It's your money. You can do what you want. I find it very ironic that you kept saying, praise Almighty AFW, but now you're calling us a clique. That doesn't seem like you were genuine to begin with. Why make these comments? No one has done anything to you at all. You know the favors that I have done when there was an issue. I helped square the issue away. Then you came back on a platform and you were disrespectful when you ran off and started criticizing people who are close to me just to get back at me. I don't want to take this in any other direction. This is what I want to say. The fact that you asked Professor Cupcake if she was white, that tells me you don't know anything about her. How can you try to qualify who she is as a person only based on her race? You don't know her legacy of civil rights activism. The same with Gerald. So this is what I want to leave you with, people. Listen very carefully. Look on the screen here. You see Khalid Muhammad, who's deceased. You see Louis Farrakhan. I'm sure you both know who these two men are. One were, one are. And then you have the list of civil rights martyrs. And so you see the red circle or square around several people who were white. Now, Khalid Muhammad didn't buy that there were civil rights martyrs. He thought there were spies that got discovered and were killed by the white people. He has a right to believe that. I don't agree with him with that version. Farrakhan is kind of like, he's not sure. Whatever the case, that does not negate that Khalid Muhammad spoke the truth in many respects. Yes, he was extremely radical, but he spoke truth in many ways. Farrakhan the same. Does it mean I agree with every single thing they say? And I have to absolutely not have any disagreement when it comes to philosophy? No. So you can't sit here and judge somebody based exclusively on the fact that they're white. That is what was done to us. How can you justify criticizing, attacking, judging Professor Cupcake exclusively because she's white? And your movement or your banner is anti-blackness. Well, listen, not having free choice without being ridiculed is anti-black in my view. So please, before you criticize people exclusively based on race, please check yourself. Don't attack people because you have an issue with me. That's all I'm going to say about this, people. I want to make sure that you Always be certain to heed the warning. Buyer, beware.